Episode 6, Auto Prophetic. This one feels like a personal favorite for me. I feel like it reps that down-home intergalactic activity in a way that I really can only associate with Rosetta Stoned, but this is the northeastern version of Rosetta Stoned. This is what happens in the woods of Maine on October 4th in Otisfield. So this is gonna be a really interesting episode to go through the demo. So once again, don't be surprised right out of the gate. I had the original tempo way faster, but that'll make it even more interesting to compare. So I'm gonna compare the original demo to the final take, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compare the solo iterations after that. That's gonna be the ticket right here, okay? So let's start with the demo and we'll just go section by section, comparing the demo to the final iteration. It's gonna be perfect, dude. All right, here we go. Here's final iteration. Okay, let's go back and listen to the demo of this though. It's so fast, it'll go by in 2 seconds, but this we'll have plenty to talk about. Listen. That intro is one of my all-time favorite, narciest, meanest gas station rodeo down home. Check this out. Listen for the auxiliary guitar. Listen for the acoustic. Listen for the wah pedal rhythm. Waka 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 waka, like just driving that gasoline funk. That's the motor oil toothbrush. Same section. Listen to this. So that's that demo. You hear that halftime B section. Let's compare that halftime B section to the final iteration. This is a glowing section in my mind. This song has like movements, like literal movements. Now we're at the solo section. So let's just talk about the first 2 minutes and 55 seconds of this final iteration. 2 questions you probably might have. Who is the vocalist? Oh, get ready for some folklore. That's my fiance, Tanya Noctegal. Yes, I was cosmically blessed to engage in a partnership with one of the best living vocalists you'll ever have the pleasure to hear. And guess what? She's been with the gas station from the beginning. So she's always known, she's always seen. She's the voice on Dark Horse as well. So now consider the title of the tune. Also, auto-prophetic. What does that mean? Self-fulfilling prophecy. Auto-prophetic. So the original title of the song was Reverie, right? But then when we started putting the lyrics on it, this prophecy vibe started to emerge. And I was thinking something about a self-fulfilling prophecy. It was actually Antoine Pellegrin who was like auto-prophetic. So he gets credit for coming up with auto-prophetic. I bet you've never heard that word in your life, right? Easily one of the best titles for a song in all of history. You get those vocals. Wait till you hear. We're going to go through the whole vocals. There are mind-melting vocals on this out. Wait, if you've already heard the track, you already know, but we're gonna listen to it together. Okay, so the other question you probably have is,
how'd you come up with that melody?
Well, the only way to really understand that is by going through the solo iteration. So let's go through the solo iteration. So here's the first solo ever on the demo. You know, obviously at a faster tempo. Listen to this, and you'll see, it's okay, I'll give it away the secret. Spoiler alert, the demo falls apart, right? Just like the Nautilus demo, if you guys remember from the Nautilus video, you know, the demo version of Nautilus just sucked, right? Couldn't land the plane, missed the mark, right? Same thing with this demo. Although I'd say it's a bit better than Nautilus, but it still completely misses the mark on a few different levels, notably the solo, right? The solo, so I'll just say also, you know, this was probably the hardest solo for me to craft, and wait till you hear why. It's because the reason behind that is definitely very surprising. Not bad. So, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and play the first iteration. So this solo was made after the bedrock tracks have been laid down, of course. So this is with the live band on a take that I layered after the fact. So here's a key principle. This is how you produce masterpieces. You record a live take with a rhythm section. You play the best solo you possibly can. You prepare for that solo, you rehearse licks, you rehearse pathways. You go into that recording session feeling bulletproof confidence to play the best solo of your life. And then when they hit the record button, what you do is facilitate a dynamic arc that the drummer and the bass player and whoever else is playing can follow in support. Here's the paradox. You should then record another solo by yourself along with the bedrock that they laid down. And that's exactly what you're about to hear. Never heard the original Autoprophetic Final Master on the Bandcamp page, you might have thought that was probably one of the gnarliest freaking solos ever recorded, and geez, it sure as hell is. The biggest problem, the biggest challenge, and this is why Cyclical Antiquity ended up fermenting into a true, honest masterpiece, is because we as a band were able to sculpt that climax exactly where it needs to be. And here's the big kicker. This misses the climax. It was in the wrong spot. So in the final iteration, we actually changed the climax. We changed the dynamic. Now, we didn't change the drums and we didn't change the bass. Here's the kicker. The original bass and drums are here. You have auxiliary percussion. You hear that shaker. There's auxiliary percussion, but the original trio drum tracks and bass tracks, that's what this is all built on. So that obviously melts your mind. You're thinking, well, how did you change the dynamic? It was always in the drums. The drums already had the dynamic. Let's listen. Let's listen to the final iteration solo. Notice the difference between the last iteration and this iteration. What's the difference and what isn't the difference? What isn't the difference? Okay, let's listen. Here comes the transcendental part.
It's about inscribing the divine on everything in sight, refining the firmament one fiber at a time. Set in stone, it's offering to the supreme being, to hear our wings gratefully. We sing to thee, creators of divine reality. It's you if you choose to be a facilitator of divinity. Claim your destiny, subvert inevitability, assert intergalactic connectivity. Align your radio dial to the highest vibrational frequency, and you'll see why I'm qualified to speak on these idiosyncrasies. Cause I'm basking in the masterpiece, like some kind of megalomaniac. I have to be the final authority over these technical battles, the sonic battery. Gotta grasp with gas station mentality. The rattlesnake shaking zodiac, catastrophe is back. And we pack reality, reflecting cyclicality, patiently allowing collaboration to reveal a legacy.
Yeah. I think I have reason to believe that's my personal favorite song on the album. We do have one more, New Sky. Woo! I think New Sky is most people's favorite song, period. I get the most feedback from that song. It's a toss-up between Dark Horse and New Sky. But for me, Autoprophetic has changed my life, and we're gonna play that. That is on the set list for October 4th in Otis Field. About to raise the ticket price. I'm launching a page, a landing page to describe the entire concert. I got the whole video. I got amazing footage of the venue, so I'm gonna make a whole video, a whole presentation, make a whole landing page on the Mentality Music website. And when I launch that, the prices are up. So you have last chance to buy your tickets at this price, $25 for a standard ticket, $45 for a campsite. But now I realize that a lot of Mainers are coming to this show. The word is gonna spread fast, but you'll see, we got the perfect venue. It's going to be off the chain. Make your reservation below if you're one of the legends who's seeing this video before I launch the GSM Mastermind landing page, in which you'll find new ticket links for new prices that are higher than they are today. So congratulations to you who already bought your tickets. You're legends. I will see you on October 4th in Otis Field, Maine.